Namaste everyone. Sorry we're a little bit late. Just putting meditation live streaming is really stressful. I'm going to have to learn to meditate, I think. I hope you can hear okay and see okay. So tonight's exploration of yoga wisdom, this Thoughtful Thursday, is just going to have an exploration of insights into meditation. The reason we chose that today is because of various questions and misunderstandings, misconceptions that people have about meditation. There's always lots of different questions that come up. In fact, I got a bunch of questions here that people ask about what is the best form of meditation, how to deal with, a distracted mind, what are the benefits, what's the best way to do it, many different kinds of questions that people have. So we thought we'd just touch on some of them tonight. So first of all, what is meditation? If we think about meditation, a whole bunch of different ideas might come to different people's minds. Usually people think of sitting cross-legged with your eyes closed, trying to still the mind, trying to calm the mind, and these are some of the ideas that we have about meditation, to try to control the thoughts. Many people get, when they start on a meditation journey, one of the first things they experience is that the mind is still really active, still jumping from one thought to another. The problems that the mind put forward is still there, and they're being distracted by different ideas in the mind or external sounds and things like that. So one of the first comments I'd like to make is that meditation is different than concentration. Usually people think meditation means you're trying to focus really one-pointedly and concentrate, but concentration is not meditation, and meditation is not concentration. In fact, meditation should be, and ultimately is, an effortless experience. So there's the less we try to control the experience, so to speak, of meditation, the easier it becomes. And of course, touching on the reality is that it is impossible to still or empty the mind anyway, and it's also really natural that throughout our meditation practice, particularly in the beginning, but even going forward, the mind will wander. That is an absolute reality, and it is not something that we should worry about or be concerned about at all. So the first tip or hint that I'd like to share is that do not be disturbed by the wandering of the mind. That is what it will do. And the goal of meditation is not to completely still the mind anyway. That is not the purpose or the goal of meditation. In fact, meditation is a spiritual journey. It is a journey of self-discovery. That is actually what the whole of the meditation experience is about. So the real purpose of meditation is to uncover our innate wisdom and spiritual love. Let me just repeat that, just to make it really clear. In this yoga practice, this yoga system, there are many different levels, so to speak, or that's not the best word to use, of meditation, but the ultimate purpose behind all meditation practice is that to uncover our innate wisdom and spiritual love. That's the whole purpose. This is why we engage in meditation. Now, along the way, and there are many side benefits, so to speak, or other benefits, but that's the main goal. So the other benefits of it are that, yes, of course, we can spend time in meditation and we get relief from the built-up stresses and tensions that we experience in our journey through life. As I'm sure you're all aware, that life can be full of many different kinds of challenges and stresses and fears and anxieties and regrets and all of those type of things. So meditation, by immersing ourselves in deep meditation, then we can not only temporarily kind of kind of run away from the hassling mind, but we can actually have immersed the mind in transcendence, in spiritual reality. And then all of those other problems are gradually alleviated rather than just temporarily, being relieved from them and then they come back. So it is a deeper spiritual journey, meditation. So a couple of the meditations that we're going to do tonight, and then we can talk more in depth on some of the other questions, is we want to do some simple mindfulness, and this will then be followed by mantra meditation, and then later on towards the end of the evening, the end of tonight's talk, we're going to be having some kirtan as well, which is the chanting of mantras with melody, and in this case there'll be music involved as well. So what I thought we could do is, before going any further, is to do some mindfulness meditation combined with mantra meditation, and then after that we can explain the difference between mindfulness meditation and mantra meditation and the benefits of combining both of them. Okay, so we're going to do our mindfulness now. So the mindfulness is a guided meditation. I'll take you through this step by step. Then we get to a point after the mindfulness, we come to a point where we're going to synchronize our breathing, and we're going to add transcendental sound or mantra. The word mantra, which we're all familiar with, everyone's heard of mantra these days, comes from two words in Sanskrit in the yoga text. Man refers to the mind, and mantra is actually the ability to draw the mind away from the temporary, from the mundane, from the problems and worries, and it transports us to transcendence. It takes us to a transcendental experience, a spiritual experience. So this is the inherent power and nature of mantra and why we add it to our mindfulness. Mindfulness on its own has a number of benefits, but when combined, so mindfulness on its own has a number of benefits, yes, and then when we combine it with mantra, it takes it to a whole different place, a whole nother level. So let's begin. So in case there's people who are watching this who have not done meditation with us before, the mantra that we're going to be using is Gauranga. It's a very beautiful, soothing, calming and joyful mantra. It brings joy, happiness, contentment, peace, freedom from worry, all of these, unlimited actually, many, many benefits. So this mantra will be said in 4 syllables. So I'll say each syllable, and then if you're not familiar with it, or even if you are, you can repeat the mantra after me. So the 4 syllables are Go, Ra, Ang, Ga. So we put these 4 together. Go, Ra, Ang, Ga. As simple as that. So when we come to this part of the meditation, as I said, we'll synchronize our breathing, and then starting from the 3rd outward breath, we say the mantra audibly. This really helps us to focus, to absorb, to immerse ourselves in our meditation experience. As we'll explain later, you can also practice mantra meditation as a silent practice, but in this case we're going to be saying it audibly, and it actually helps. What we're doing is we're listening to the sound. As we're saying the sound, we absorb our mind by listening. Just gently resting, listening to the sound. This is how we immerse ourselves in deep meditation, deep inner peace meditation. Okay, so if you like, depending on where you are, you can close your eyes. So we'll be putting on some music in the background as well. So this will help to, in the beginning, to focus our mind. And bring your awareness to your breath. So just become aware of the rhythm of your breath. Feeling each inward breath and each outward breath. Allowing the breath to come nice and easy. We're not trying to do any special breath here. It's beginning to help us begin to focus inward. All day long we spend so much time in the world, in the realm of the senses, and so much input is coming through the eyes, the ears, the nose, the mouth, the sense of touch. So we spend the whole day in that realm of the senses. So now let us begin our inward journey of meditation. So if you can, feel that rhythm of your breath as it's moving in your body. So be aware of the expansion, the gentle expansion of your body on each inward breath. Actually feel that sensation, that awareness in your body. And then with each outward breath, feel the whole body soften, relax, and also let go of any tension. Just do a scan through your body and feel how are your shoulders. And you soften and relax them with your outward breath. Be aware of all the skin and the muscles in your face. And with the outward breaths, let those muscles in your face, around the eyes, and forehead and temples, cheeks, and jaw, let them relax with the outward breath. As we relax a little deeper, you'll feel that rhythm of your breath deepen and slow down a little. And you become more aware of the actual rhythm of your breath. A nice example that helps me to enter into that experience is if you can imagine a gentle wave lapping on the shore of a lake. It's just lapping, ebbing and flowing. And our breath is similarly ebbing and flowing in a gentle, natural, relaxed way. To our mindfulness practice. We begin with awareness that I am observing each inward and outward breath. This is the first step. I am aware I am watching my body inhale. I am aware I am watching my body exhale. we are the silent witness who is watching the body breathe, peacefully, calmly observing each inward and outward breath. The mind wants to take us on a journey to here and there. So now we move into mindfulness in connection with the thoughts which flow through the mind. It is clearly understood and taught in yoga that we are not only are we not our body, the physical body, we are also not the subtle mind. We are not the material mind. And we are not the thoughts which flow through the mind. So we can watch the mind, its content, this stream of thoughts, in the same way as if we're sitting on the bank of a stream and watching the twigs and the different things which are floating by in that stream. But we are peacefully sitting, watching, undisturbed by whatever may float by in the stream. Similarly, we can peacefully sit and observe and be undisturbed by whatever may float by or stream by in the mind. All kinds of positive thoughts, negative thoughts, beautiful images, horrible images, good things, weird things. The mind, the stream of the mind is generally very polluted, full of all kinds of rubbish. So like the lotus flower, which may grow in a very dirty and polluted pond, but it is untouched by the pollution. Similarly, through meditation, we can be untouched by the pollution and the worries and concerns of the mind. Beginning with simply stepping back and observing this constant stream. We let it flow wherever it wants to. We let whatever thought wants to come be there for however long it wants to be there. It may be replaced by a different thought. Still, we are the peaceful observer, the silent witness of all of this. When the mind wanders, which it will, don't be disturbed by it, or fight against it, or try to stop it. Gently, peacefully, calmly, come back to your practice. To help us enter into this experience of mindfulness, you can repeat the following meditation. I am the silent witness. I make no effort to think, but thoughts come automatically. I am watching thoughts flow through my mind. I am aloof from them. I am a silent witness of my mind's activities. we're going to move to the mantra meditation now. It helps to take us deeper into actual spiritual meditation, to transcendental consciousness. So we're going to harmonize our breathing, and starting from the third outward breath, we add this beautiful mantra of Gauranga. As you inhale, repeat the mantra silently in the mind with each inward breath. On each outward breath, feeling the vibration of the mantra as you say it audibly. Feel the vibration in your mouth, in your tongue, in your body, and actually hear the sound. Immerse your mind fully but gently in the sound of the mantra. Remembering it is not concentration, it is effortless awareness. Let us inhale together. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. A nice deep inhalation. one more time. Keeping your eyes closed, we can continue our meditation on the mantra now silently in the mind. So we'll spend a few moments in this peaceful state, repeating the mantra audibly, gently in the mind, silently in the mind. Now we're going to prepare to open our eyes. And if you like, you can open your eyes. And if you want to stretch a little bit, just to bring a bit of comfort into the body. People able to hear? Is it still working okay? Everyone's all right? I'm just asking Madhura if she's here with me. Buzzing noise. I have a buzzing in my ear. No, I can't hear one. Okay, so tonight there was a couple of ideas that we could touch on. Regularly people ask me about how it is that I got into meditation, and how I came to this form of meditation over all the other types of meditation that there are. So it may be worthwhile just kind of touching a little bit on my own personal journey, because it may be relevant to you as well. And you know, one of the best ways to learn, of course, is through our own direct experience of it, but we can also learn from the experience of others. So it's a combination of hearing, applying, you know, asking questions, learning. So there's people all learn in a variety of different ways. So we can learn by hearing, of course, as well, and learning from other people's mistakes as well as other people's successes. So that's what we would like to do a little bit by relating this story. I'll try to keep it brief, so it's not too long, but just to give you a little background, and which will then kind of throw some light on the practice that we are doing and why we're doing it, and why I'm doing it, basically. So my upbringing was, my parents brought me up in the Catholic tradition. I went to Catholic schools, and I also became what is known as an altar boy, which is the person who helps serve at the Mass with the priest. And I was really into it. I really, from a young age, felt a connection, some kind of spiritual longing from it when I was, I don't know, probably like 7 or 8, 9, that kind of age. And the school I was going to, the church was connected to it, and I would attend Mass, as an altar boy, 2 to 3, sometimes 4 times a week, to assist, in the Mass itself. And like I said, I felt a deep longing and a deep connection through that spiritual practice of church and prayer and things like that. And then I was even considering at one stage in my, like 12-year-old, 13-year-old, that kind of age, that maybe I would, even maybe look at becoming a priest. In those days, back in the 60s, the Catholic families, kind of different people, sometimes, went into the priesthood or became a brother or a nun or something like that. It was, more of a common thing in those days. So then I hit my, 14, 15, 16 kind of age. And as I looked around the world and, saw the suffering and the problems and the disturbances that were there, and of course in my own life, more disturbances and worries and fears and anxieties started to kind of hit me as well. And to cut a long story short, I became an atheist in my teenage years. As I looked around the world, I couldn't see how there could be a God, how there could be anyone in charge of this. It appeared to be unfair, it appeared to be a mess. And so my conclusion was either there is no one overseeing this, there is no God, there is no higher power. Because we're kind of told that we have one life, this is the one life we have, and then at the end of this life we, according to how we lived our life, or we go to heaven or hell for eternity, and that's it. So this didn't all kind of add up to me. If there's a loving God, how come there is suffering in the world? This is the question I had. And as I asked this question of various priests and nuns, etc., other religious people, the answers I were getting was not very satisfactory. So because of this, I became an atheist for quite a number of years, and but still felt some kind of inner urge or a feeling that there is something more to life than simply, going to school, getting a job, perhaps getting married, perhaps having kids, working at your job for a long time, send your kids to school, eventually you get to retire, and then after retirement you die. It's the kind of life that we see that is put forward. It's the kind of life, the path that we head down is basically that. Born, play, school, career, family, finish career, retire, die. And I thought, no, there's got to be some kind of deeper purpose than that. So I had an interest in, somehow or other, it was there to kind of contribute to the world so that it was a better place. So I had an interest in social activism, socialism, leaning towards communism, because equality, everybody should have an equal chance in life. So I got a little involved in that in my early, late teenage years, that kind of time. And then again, for various reasons, as we, looked around the world, I also saw how, the socialist or communist countries also were not equal, and people were still suffering, and there was still a hierarchy of people on the top and people below. So I kind of came to the conclusion that this also didn't work. It wasn't the whole purpose of life. And then I continued my journey, my quest, and came into contact with Buddhist teaching, Buddhist philosophy and practice. And because in Buddhist practice and philosophy it is atheistic, there is no God overseeing everything and everyone and moving people around. Like on a chess board or something like that. So I still had this inner yearning for something deeper in life. So this gave a meditation practice to me. It's where I came across mindfulness and other practices in Buddhist philosophy and teaching, and came across various ideas such as karma and reincarnation, and these began to explain, to have a deeper meaning, deeper understanding of why is it that people suffer, what is the nature of suffering, and to find a solution to the problems of life. So this is where my interest, in Buddhist philosophy and practice came to. Then, after some time, I began to look further afield. I felt there was something deeper in life. Like, for instance, through mindfulness, I felt I was kind of quite determined and became a little successful, what I thought was successful in my meditation practice, in able to watch the mind and to be less disturbed by the content and the emotions that pass through the mind. So I became a little bit, I suppose you would say, proud that yes, I'm achieving something in my meditation practice. But this all changed one day due to an experience I had with my partner at that time. I came home one day from work early, and she and another friend were involved in a relationship that I didn't know about. And this completely devastated, it just completely broke my heart, and the pain was so deep from this broken heart and this relationship breaking. But still, I would come back, and anyone who's been through that experience knows how painful that experience is. I mean, you lose all interest in life, you lose interest in getting up in the morning, you either become angry or you become depressed and morose, and all the kind of whole range of emotions that a person goes through. So I was going through all of them, but because of I had a regular practice, and because of my determination, I still engaged in my meditation practices twice a day. But this is where I experienced something. So although I was, prior to this, I was having some degree of success, what I considered to be success in my meditation, feeling more calm, more at ease, more of an even keel as I walked through life, not being so disturbed by the stimulations and the ups and downs of life. This is actually some of the benefits that I could experience. But now, having gone, what I just explained, and sitting there in my meditation, part of which is to simply watch the feelings, to watch the emotions, to watch the thoughts, as a silent witness, as a disinterested viewer, and to not get wrapped up in or swept away, by those feelings, those emotions. But what I experienced is that this was not helpful. I wouldn't say at all. It was of minimal benefit to me. I was experiencing so much pain from this that little bit of temporary relief that I might have got through my mindfulness practice did not help me in my life. I still felt this great anguish and pain deep within myself due to the broken relationship. So from this experience, this very real experience, I then came to a conclusion or an insight, a feeling, if you like, that there must be something more to meditation than just stepping back from the mind. Just experiencing some degree of peacefulness while I'm in meditation, which temporarily kind of flows through for some time, a little while, in the rest of my life. And I also came to the insight that if this practice cannot deal with or bring me to a state of peacefulness, of calmness, of joy through a broken relationship, how will this help me at the time of death, of my own death and the death of my loved ones? This is actually an insight which came to me, that there must be something further, must be more to do in meditation that can actually overcome all of these problems that I just mentioned. So this is when I began to explore yoga for a variety of reasons. In the beginning, a lot of it was to do with physical health. I had a back injury, so it was helping me with my back injury. But then I became interested in yoga philosophy as well. And as I, over time, began to delve into and hear about, the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and other, yoga teachings, it caught my interest even more. So I wanted to learn more about meditation from the yoga perspective. Ultimately, as we said at the beginning, the purpose of meditation in the yoga system is to actually tap into, to uncover our innate wisdom and our spiritual love, transcendental love, perfect love. This is ultimately the goal. So this is something more than just being able to step back from the mind and our emotions and feelings and to constantly be aware, to so-called be in the moment and to simply watch this passing parade of feelings, emotions, thoughts, desires, etc. So that's when I came across practices such as pranayama, and then from there practices such as mantra, what a mantra is. And also it kind of took me further in understanding the idea of things such as reincarnation. What was added to my understanding from Buddhist philosophy moving into yoga philosophy was a very clear understanding of the nature of the self as being different from the material body and different from the ever-changing mind. So whereas in Buddhist teaching and practice there is a concept called Sunyata, which loosely translated means non-self, no self, that actually there is no permanent, eternal, individual personality. It is all a temporary construct of our experience here in this world and the nature of the mind and the brain, etc., etc. So in yoga philosophy there's a very clear understanding that there is an eternal, permanent self, which is known as the Atma. The Atma means the true self, or the real self, as opposed to the false idea of self. So the false idea of self means I am, because ego, for instance, means I am. So false ego, or false concept of self, when after I am comes the concept a man. I am Australian. I am 66 years old. I am fat. I am skinny. All of these identities, so to speak. I am Ray Lindsley. All of these things are I, come after the I. I am the son of Brian and Betty, etc. I am a husband. I am a father. I am a yoga teacher. All of these things. So when I am, that follows the concept I am, then this is known as the false ego. And they are temporary and passing and changing. They are not real, they do not last, they are not eternal. That concept of self. But what is really very easy to understand, and I won't go into it now because this will go on too long and that's not the intended idea of this talk. It is very actually easy to understand that we are not our physical bodies, but there is a permanence there. A permanence, like in this practice of mindfulness. Who is the witness? So we ask the question, who is watching the body breathe? Well, I am watching the inward breath. I am watching the outward breath. And then when we come to the mind, watching the thoughts flow through the mind, as the meditation was, I am the silent witness. I am the observer of the thoughts, the stream of thoughts. Well, who is that I? Who is the silent witness? Who is watching? Who is witnessing, observing the breath, the thoughts, the mind? Well, obviously the answer is, it is I. I am observing. I am the silent witness. So the I am, Atma, means I am the non-material self. I am not my body, and I am not my mind, and I am not my thoughts, but still I am. Aham Brahmasmi, I am spirit. I am not the temporary, ever-changing body and mind. I, the self, am eternal, and I am the eternal spark of the supreme Atma, the supreme soul, the supreme life. So my nature is, I am living force, I am life. Temporarily walking around in this body and with this mind. So then this then enters into, well, what is mantra? Why do we incorporate mantra? So these are the things that I want to touch on. So I've got some notes here I would like to read, and these are explanations given by my spiritual teacher. So I thought I would read them because they were very concise and clear, and we'll gain a lot from them. So the question is, what are the main benefits of practicing mindfulness meditation? Answer by my spiritual teacher, Siddhasrupananda Paramahamsa, who says, "The practice of mindfulness has a primary benefit and a secondary benefit. The primary benefit, from the yoga perspective, is that it helps you realize that you are not your mind. Most people falsely identify themselves with either the gross physical body or the subtle body, the mind. But from the yoga perspective, believing that you are either your physical body or your mind is a misconception, a misunderstanding. The aim of yoga is to become free from misconceptions, to understand what is reality. This is actually the spiritual quest, is to understand what is that ultimate reality, what is that absolute truth, to find that absolute reality and to live in harmony with that ultimate truth, that ultimate reality. So the mind awareness technique of meditation helps you realize that you are not your mind, but rather you are the observer of the mind. Once you realize this, then you naturally must ask, well, who am I? I know that I am the perceiver of the content of my mind. I am watching my mind. So I know that I exist. So the question I must ask myself is, who am I? I am not the body and I am not the mind. Who am I? From here, one can begin to contemplate upon themselves on their own true essence. From the Vedic or yoga perspective, you are the eternal Atma or spirit soul, temporarily covered by a material body and a material mind. You are in fact a part and parcel, a spark of the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Atma. In other words, each person is a spirit soul or Atma, a child of the Supreme, a child of God. And we are simply temporarily using these material bodies that cover us, the gross physical body and the subtle body of the mind. So mindfulness, one of the benefits of mindfulness is that it can help us understand this truth. So that's why we brought this point up. It can actually help us understand that we, the self, are different from the body and mind. And this is a very deep and profound realization. So now we move into what are the secondary benefits. So this is the first benefit, the prime benefit. The secondary benefit is that it helps you experience relief from stress and anxiety. Once you realize that you can watch your mind, you can watch the stream of thoughts go by as a passive observer. It creates a kind of distance between you, the observer, and your thoughts. So if your thoughts are disturbing or causing you stress, instead of getting caught up in them and reacting to them, you are able to stand a little apart from them and just watch them come and go. You know, a nice example a friend of mine uses is, actually we won't go into that, so it doesn't go too long. It's the same things with emotions. You learn to notice that you are feeling sad, angry, stressed, depressed, happy, or excited, and so on. You begin to see yourself as the observer of all of these emotions that you are experiencing. You know that these feelings don't really have anything to do with your real self, with you. You understand that this will pass. This helps prevent you from getting swept away by them. So the mindfulness practice, which cultivates a real experience of who you are and that you are separate from your mind, helps bring about a sense of inner calm. It's not just theoretical, superficial, or temporary, but comes from a place of real understanding of who we are. Of course, we may forget sometimes, but the more we practice, the more we are reminded that we are the Atma, or the spirit soul, who is observing the mind and the emotions. So what I wanted to touch on now is, because we did a combination of mindfulness and mantra meditation, so I thought what we'd explore now is the nature of mantra in connection with mindfulness. And also, one thing that just comes to mind as well, I was thinking about earlier today, you know how there's a saying that prevention is better than cure. So, unfortunately many of us wait until we're overly stressed and worried and fearful, or whatever, anxiety, whatever it might be, and then we decide to, kind of take up our meditation practice. Or if we've been meditating for some time and it's kind of, our practice has lapsed, it takes, something happening in our life to kind of bring us back to a regular practice. But the best thing is if we continue, even if it's in a small but regular way, then it acts as a preventative to the building up of stress and worry. So it's a preventative, rather than just waiting for it until things go belly up before we do it. So let us move on to mantra meditation, and we did it easier. We did it previously with the breath. So we just want to move on a little bit from that. So just trying to just decide what we can do. How much time we got to do this. I'll talk about this. So the question that sometimes people have is, what do you do if your mind wanders or is distracted? We touch on that briefly. But the answer is distractions, including various kinds of thoughts and feelings, will come and go. You don't need to worry about them. Don't try to prevent them. If you discover that your attention has been temporarily taken away by a particular thought or emotion, don't worry about it. Just gently focus your attention back on the object of your meditation. So now we move into what are the benefits of mantra meditation with yoga breathing. So slowing down the breath and focusing on it is calming to the mind and the nervous system. This makes us feel calmer and more relaxed. It eases stress, and it can therefore help improve our health in many ways, especially since so many diseases are caused or aggravated by chronic stress. But then it goes on, even more significant are the benefits we get from the mantra, a spiritual sound vibration that, when repeated regularly, helps bring us to a deep sense of contentment and inner happiness. So this is where the addition of mantra, transcendental sound, to our practice takes us deeper, not just always having to fight with the mind and step back, but the mantra itself, because of its spiritual nature, brings about a deep sense of contentment and inner happiness. By combining the two techniques, we get the benefit of both. So that's what we did earlier. So the question was, is practicing mantra meditation with breathing more powerful than just practicing the mantra by itself? The answer is no. But in the beginning, it helps to keep the mind from wandering. When you do mantra meditation with yoga breathing, the added awareness of your breath can help keep the mind anchored on the mantra. When you're able to focus more closely on the mantra, to really let it enter the core of your being, to chant the mantra from your heart, and your meditation becomes more and more powerful and more effective. You begin to experience the deep inner happiness, joy and peace that ultimately comes from a regular, sincere practice of mantra meditation. So, as we mentioned before, you can also practice the mantra silently. You don't have to combine it with breath or audible repetition. So now I want to get to the question about, well, what is the importance of the mantra? Why do we incorporate mantra into our practice? So the answer is, from the Vedic or yoga perspective, you are the eternal Atma or spirit soul, temporarily covered by a material body and a material mind. You are in fact a part and parcel, a spark of the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Atma. In the same way that the material body needs material food, you, the Atma within the body, needs spiritual food, because you are spiritual in essence. And transcendental love is that spiritual food. Transcendental love is that spiritual food. Spiritual love exists within the heart of each of us, but it is covered over. much like a diamond, is covered over with mud and dirt. The process of mantra meditation cleanses the dirt and mud off of the diamond of spiritual love. So here we're getting down to the actual core importance and difference between a simple mindfulness practice, where we get to step back from all of the mind and the thoughts and the desires and emotions, and how mantra actually takes us deeper, further than that experience. So from the perspective of yoga, a mantra is the sound incarnation of the Supreme Soul, and it has the power to reawaken our spiritual love. Simply by resting our heart and mind in this transcendental sound vibration, we make direct contact with the Supreme Soul. Such contact with the Supreme Soul is what we need. Whether we know it or not, such contact is where we will find true comfort, inner peace and happiness. This union or harmonious, loving relationship with the Supreme Soul thus is known as the highest samadhi. It is the very meaning of the word yoga. So this is the ultimate goal, purpose, and the means by which we can actually achieve perfect spiritual enlightenment. It is the simplest, it is the easiest meditation to practice, it is the most effective meditation to practice, and it brings about the highest good or the highest perfection of meditation. And as we said, this is the goal of meditation, and all of the other benefits are included. They're not excluded from this practice, but it actually brings us to that highest point, of meditation, which we touched upon at the beginning, of our talk this evening, which was that the real purpose of yoga meditation is to uncover our innate wisdom and spiritual love. So the reason why I am continuing to practice this meditation after many years, and it is the prime form of my meditation, is directly because of the results that I have experienced from doing it. So there's a very simple practice, what we learned at the beginning. If you practice that daily, you'll experience the benefits of it. There are other practices, how we combine mantra into meditation as well. And the most enjoyable, without any doubt whatsoever, and the most engaging, in fact is even described in the yoga teaching, the most powerful and effective of all these practices is what is known as kirtan, which is adding mantra to melody and to music and singing and immersing ourselves and resting our heart and mind and our very being fully and completely in this transcendental sound, and experience directly who we are as the spirit soul, and experiencing more and more as we practice our harmonious connection, our yoga, our union with the Supreme Soul. And this is actually the highest samadhi, and it is factually what each one of us is looking for. So thank you very much for considering these ideas, and we're going to bring Madhulila Dasi into this. She's going to lead us in some kirtan. So right now she's the technical person, just adjusting the camera, the phone, so that we can see and hear her as well. So at home, please join in. If you've not done kirtan before, you can either just listen, if that's what you'd like, just close your eyes and listen. I would like to recommend that you join in. So Madhulila will explain to us how she's going to do it, and then we can be a part of this experience.
Okay, hope everyone can hear me. This is kirtan. So I'm going to be singing the mantra Haribol Nitai Gaur Haribol. I'll sing, and while I sing, please listen and just absorb yourself in the sound, just that effortless resting. And then Radha Krishna will sing, and when Radha Krishna sings, please also sing along as well, if you like. So you can come over a little bit, I'm not quite in Okay. Hari Bol Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Now please sing. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai
Hari Bol Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol,
Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur,
Nitai Gaur Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo, Haribo, Nitai Gaur, Nitai Gaur Haribo.
Thank you, Marjalila.
Thank you.
Okay, well I think that's it for tonight, for this session. So please, the main request, the ultimate reason we're doing all these different talks and things like that is to encourage you to add meditation to your life in a regular way. That's what it's all about. So please find the time, you can add these simple meditations to your life, and I know that you will be greatly appreciative of the benefits, the effect, and how it improves your experience of life on many, many different levels. Okay, thank you so much. Namaste, and I hope all is well and everything will benefit without a doubt from regular practice. The final word. Thank you.